All right, so the next part of the personalized email copywriting, which is going to be how to write newsletters and sales emails. Now, I just wanted to tell you guys that in the next lesson, I will break down all of these emails that I'm teaching you, so don't worry. Right now, I will give you just the general knowledge, how to actually write them, and then in the next lesson, I will show you how the information you're being presented with actually looks like in real life. So with that said, let's get right into it. So newsletters or daily emails, these are very, very simple. These are going to be the easiest ones to write for you, okay? Because they're here to simply give you ongoing value to your customers. It is what keeps them signed up to your email list. For great newsletters, there's no strictly given formula. Your hook and angle of the entire copy are whatever you want to be talking about. The only thing is that you have to make sure that what you give to your audience is valuable and you are not boring. So just write like you talk. Very simple. That's the only rule. Now, to keep your readers interested throughout the entire email, just make sure you write an engaging headline, which is the beginning of this entire module. And also make sure to select a topic that will actually interest them. Not the topic you think will interest them, but the topic that will actually interest them. And the only way to discover it is by crazy amounts of research, okay? Give away value that's new to them or the old one in a new way. Talking about progressive overload won't cut it for fitness enthusiasts because obviously they already know that. So research, research, research. Also, make each sentence sell the next one. Now, what do I mean by this? Like I've told you in the fundamental lessons, right? I'm telling you to refer back to the fundamentals. The purpose of each line is to sell the next one, and then to sell the next one, and then to sell the next one. Right up until the point you get to the end of the email and you make your audience take the action. Okay? Now, the next thing, use a clear and concise call to action oriented towards engagement. The main goal should always be to build a relationship with your audience further, because if you're giving them value, they should trust you more, right? And if you give them bad kind of value, the value they already know, or the value that makes you seem like you don't know what you're talking about, they are going to start losing trust. So be aware of it, okay? Now, the next part, how to write a killer sales email sequence. Now, when it comes to sales in personalized email marketing, context is everything. You cannot just throw a product at someone and expect them to buy. Doesn't work like that. Think about it. Every step in your sales process needs to have a purpose. If it doesn't, you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. Worse, you lose authority in the eyes of your audience. So if you want to turn leads into paying customers, your sales emails have to flow naturally and remove all the doubts and objections along the way. So writing the sales email sequence. Now I'm going to tell you the general mindset I have whenever I start writing a sales email sequence, which is essentially series of emails that have a goal of selling a product to your audience. Very simple. So picture this, right? Selling through email is like walking through a dark forest when we're talking about personal brands. Objections are hiding everywhere. Behind the trees, under the ground, falling from the sky. You've got to address and kill each objection to get out of the forest and make the sale. It's impossible to handle every doubt in one email. People are different. Some people are ready to buy immediately. Some need proof it works. Some will wait until the last minute. Some aren't just sure if the offer is for them. Some just don't believe your claims. And this is why you need a sequence of multiple emails to take them on a journey and knock out all of their doubts one by one. Because let's face it, you cannot face all the objections within one single email. First email: problem, agitate, and solve. So, this is your opener. Start by hitting the biggest pain point your audience is dealing with. Use a question or statement that grabs their attention and shows you understand what they're struggling with. Once they're hooked, agitate the problem further by showing how it affects their life. Use follow-up questions that make them think, yeah, this is exactly what I'm dealing with. Then shift toward the solution, but don't be pushy. Offer hope. Make them feel like, hey, I've been there too and I can help. Show why you're someone worth listening to by adding a quick line about your authority or experience. Close with a call to action that teases the solution or directs them to learn more about the solution. Very simple. Email number 2, the personal story. People connect with stories, especially ones they can relate to. This email is all about sharing a personal experience that ties directly to your product. Now, your story has to relate to the problem your audience is facing. It also should start with a hook that grabs attention. So, you should when we're talking about personal story, start the email in the middle of the crisis, right? If I'm gonna say it this way, like say it, you should say like, I was laying, on my bed. I couldn't even properly see with my left eye. My heart was beating. And they're like, oh, what's happening, right? And it gets their attention. So this is how you should start. And you also show how you faced a similar struggle and found a solution, which ultimately is your product. And then, sorry, my voice is almost gone. And by naturally introducing the product as the result of your experience. Don't forget to make it relatable and believable. Your audience needs to see themselves in your story. That's the most important thing. Email number 3. What if or future pacing? So, with that said, now it's time to paint a picture of what their life could look like after they buy your product. So, in this email, use vivid or specific language to help them imagine their future with the problem solved. Focus on benefits, how it will make their life better, and make it all about them. Use phrases like, imagine if, this could be you, what if you did this, what if you did that, what if this happened, how would you feel if you were here, stuff like that. You can also tie this to a success story from someone who used your product. If they did it, so can your audience. This is what you should use, right? Email number 4. Why are the best option? This email is for people who are still on the fence. They're either comparing you to competitors or doubting if your solution will ever work. This email has to be used to position you as the clear winner. You literally have to tell them that you're the best, by far, okay? How to do it? Simple. Highlight what makes you different. Address the common mistakes or problems with other solutions. Show results, yours or your customers. Now, with that said, you can even introduce a common enemy, which could be an outdated method, bad product, and stuff like this, and explain why you created your offer to fix these issues these outdated products created. Okay? Number 5, customer success story. So Nobody wants to be your first customer. That's it. This is why people love hearing success stories. And like I've told you before, like I've told you in the lead nurturing sequence, give them a believable reason as of why you want to tell them the story, okay? And if you decide to go for a really honest angle, I feel it could work. Like if you, for example, right? If at the beginning of an email you address an objection one of your customers has, right? If they doubt that, like if they ask you why you're the best, why should I trust you? Literally, just include it in the email. Like start the email explicitly stating this question, okay? And literally just tell them, one of my subscribers asked me this, and then handle the objection by presenting the success story, okay? Now, when you're sharing the success story, make sure you share a one detailed success story. Very important. Email number 6. Overcome the biggest objection. Now, by now, because you've already done a good research, you should know the biggest objections your audience has about your offer. Again, it's all about the research. This email dives straight into addressing one of those doubts head on. Now, how to do it? Super simple. Speak their language and show you understand their concerns. Don't hide behind the corner. Don't act like these objections don't exist. People can smell it a mile away and you will lose trust. So be honest with them. And then crush the objection by explaining how your product solves it. Use your experience, logic, and authority to build trust. Email number 7. Take it or leave it. This will put a lot of pressure on them. Now, if they're still undecided, it's time for the final push. Use urgency and exclusivity to get them off the fence. Tell them this is their last chance to buy. Justify the urgency, so tell them here are limited spots, doors are closing pretty soon, or you can sweeten the deal with bonuses. And like I've told you previously, make sure all of this urgency is justified and also make sure these bonuses are valuable, okay? Now at the end, you can also include guarantees or risk reversals to make the decision easier. If you want, you can split this into 2 emails. One focused on the bonuses and another one as last chance reminder, and that's pretty much it. And here you have it, guys. Your action steps. So here, there should have been write 3 newsletters about your company and about your community. It's not a lead nurturing sequence. Sorry for that. And the second step would be to write a sales email sequence about your product. So with that being said, in the next lesson, like I've said, I'm going to show you all the examples and I'm going to actually show you how these examples and how this theory looks like in real life. So with that being said, let's get right into it and I can't wait to see you in the next lesson. Let's do it.